Hey guys, it's McKay. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. This is the Soul's Whisper, where I essentially take guidance from my guides and give it to you guys. Today, I am going to go about this a little bit differently. I just filmed a reading that was 40 minutes long. That was sick. And I didn't press record. I'm interpreting that as maybe my guides didn't want me to relay that message yet, or maybe I didn't relay it in a concise way for it to go on the interweb. So instead of that, what we're going to do today is I am going to talk about part of my awakening journeys. Are you guys ready for this? Because it's quite the hoot. I have always been a truth seeker. Ever since I was little, I always pondered the meaning of the universe. I remember being 7 years old and constantly asking my mom, like, where did we come from? Why are we here? What is the purpose of all of this? I didn't grow up in a religious household. I have barely been to church. My family was just not religious at all, nor were they spiritual. I would ask these questions and my mom wouldn't really give me answers. She was just kind of like, because that's the way it is, or this is just how it is. And I was constantly seeking more answers and I just never understood. I remember being 12 and we were out at dinner. My stepdad grew up in a religious household. So I asked him, hey, what's the meaning of the universe? Where did we come from? We got on the topic of the Big Bang and stuff like that. I just kept asking if there is God, or if the universe was created from the Big Bang, what created that? And I couldn't understand. I spent my whole life pondering these deeper questions. I was always into philosophy, psychology, and always searching for answers. My whole life, I felt different from other people. I've always been really social, very outgoing. I can make friends with people easily, but it's all surface level. I've always craved deep, meaningful connections. And part of the problem is I have a really, really hard time connecting with people because a lot of people, I hate to say it, but they're very much surface level. They're driven by material desires. Now, I'm the type of person who meets somebody and I don't want to talk to them about their job. I don't want to talk to them about the weather. I want to talk to them about the meaning of the universe and what their thoughts are on the afterlife, stuff like that. I spent my whole life feeling different, and I tried really hard to fit in with people. I would change the way that I looked. I would change my mannerisms. I would change the way I talked. This started at a very young age. I think this started when I was maybe 11 or 12, because I went through my whole adolescence being myself and being a little bit eccentric and a little bit weirder. And I was met with ridicule for that. I was bullied. And so I got in my head, okay, hey, I don't want to be bullied. I don't want my life to be like this. Let me look at these people who are considered cool. Let me look at these people who are considered popular that people like. And I'm going to essentially make myself into a chameleon and do everything that I can to be like those people. Little did I know that by doing that, I was going to essentially give myself immense amount of trauma. I started doing that super young, and I'm 27 now. So let's say I started at 11. From 11 to, let's say, 26. So I started to come into all of this at 26. I was living my life as a fraud, basically. It was just one big lie. I was constantly blaming things on other people. I was like, well, if I can't connect with anybody, it's because people suck. And no, that's not what it was. I couldn't connect with anybody and I couldn't find my people because I wasn't showing up as my true, authentic self in the world. So I was essentially masking who I was. I would dim my light. I would conform to what other people wanted. I would do things that I didn't want to do for the sake of being liked. And because of that, I lost who I was. Because I didn't know who I was, I would rely a lot for my validation upon romantic relationships or praise I would get for how I looked or something like that. And essentially, that ended up I ended up battling years of depression, anxiety. I always felt very disassociated from my body. I have a whole story there of a near-death experience that happened to me when I was 16 that I think kind of like was the universe's first sign of trying to get me to wake up and remember who I was. I was so scared and so young that I didn't know what was going on. And it kind of drove me deeper into feeling more isolated, feeling more alone, still not understanding like the meaning of the universe. And that essentially took me on this like deep spiral of depression for years and years and years. I still struggle with it, but it's a little bit easier to manage now because I know what's beyond the veil. I know what the meaning of life is. I know what's going on. I was so depressed when I was 18. I got put on a whole slew of pharmaceutical drugs to help my depression, but I was 18 and I think I got put on 6 or 7 different pharmaceuticals. And that was just a disaster. Why are you giving a 18-year-old 6 or 7 benzos, antidepressants, insomnia medications? That turned me into the shell of a human, and I was doing things that weren't me, and I turned into this monster of a person. My uncle died around that same time. That was the trigger of what sent me deeper down into this darkness, this dark void that I never thought that I was going to get out of. One day I just cold turkey quit all my meds and I started searching. I started doing the self-improvement and I started trying to find myself. Through that process, I still wasn't putting in 100% effort. I still like was masking myself. I still was trying to fit in with people. And I was still latching on to relationships. I was still like just like looking for validation from outside sources, and I wasn't getting it. I just wasn't getting it. When I look back at it now, I wasn't getting it because it wasn't time for me to get it yet. I think that I am an old soul, 1000%. I know that. And I think I've been trying to wake up for years and years and years and years and years, but my human self knew, okay, it's not time. I still have lessons that I need to learn. If I would have woken up any earlier in life, I don't think I would have been able to handle it. Because once you wake up and you see what's actually going on, you can't go back. And you have a big task. You have a big mission. You have to see what's going on and accept it. And you vow that you're going to live your life in a certain way and you're going to do everything that you can to spread light and love and help people remember who they are. If you would have given me that at 18, I would have been like, okay, that's cool, whatever, let's go party, you know? So essentially years and years and years of depression and also a lot of substance abuse. I drank a lot of alcohol, and I just was up to no good. And that sent me deeper into my depression and deeper into feeling isolated. I had no meaning in my life. I was constantly questioning my purpose, and I just thought I thought there was no point. I thought there was no point. I was a huge cynic. I didn't have any belief in a higher power. And I just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper down the spiral. That's what the darkness tries to do. And the moment you latch onto that darkness, they just take it and run. You can't pull yourself out of it, I think, until you're so far in the trenches and you're like, oh my God, I am not going to make it out of this alive. I have to do something to change. And in that moment, that's when you wake up. My awakening story, there's a lot of layers to it, but essentially last year, okay, guys, so this is how I started believing in God. Last year, I was extremely depressed, like I said, just basically a constant state of depression my whole life. I would wake up every morning and I was crying, and I would lay in bed. I would just hate my life. I wasn't doing anything to change it. One day, I was out shopping with my mom, and I heard a whisper in my ear, and I was like, whoa, what was that? This whisper told me, Michaela, you need to pray. And I was like, excuse me, Michaela needs to do what? Because Michaela is not religious. Michaela's never prayed in her life. Michaela's always been very against religion. That's a whole nother story in itself. I've always been very, very against structured, systematic religion. I believe in a higher power. I believe in spirituality, but I just don't necessarily believe in the construct of the church as it is today, if that makes sense. Sorry if that offends anybody, but that's just how I feel. The whisper told me, you need to pray. I think this was last October or something. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm going to ignore that. I don't know what that was. It was a man's voice, by the way. And I was like, I'm not listening to this man. And then it kept nagging at me. It kept nagging at me. It was like, Michaela, you need to pray. You need to pray. You need to pray. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, hey, mom, I'm kind of interested in like reading the Bible, and I've never read the Bible before. She was like, that's weird. And I was like, yeah, and I feel like I like need to start praying. She's like, that's also very weird. Like, that's not like you at all. I was like, yeah, I don't know why, but I just feel like this is something that I had to do. When I look back at it now, that was my intuition. That was like my higher self trying to guide me to do this, but I didn't know what it was. I literally did not know what it was. So like another month goes by, I'm still ignoring it. I'm still like getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this depression. Finally, I remember being at home, and I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I am a single mom and I have a 2-year-old. At that point, I wasn't a single mom. That's a whole nother story. I was in a relationship that was not the best for me, and I knew that. And I think my daughter and my ex were sleeping, and I was in the other bedroom. And I was just so tired of crying. I remember I got down on the ground and I did what they do in movies when they pray, and I got on my freaking knees and I was like, I don't know if anybody is listening, but if there's somebody out there and somebody is listening, like, please help me. Please help me. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. And then I just remember bawling. And the moment that I did that, I immediately felt some sort of shift. And after I said that, I was like, okay, I'm going to pray. But again, the word pray for some reason, still back then, it was not really sitting with me well. I guess they're kind of interchangeable though, prayer and meditation. I prayed or I meditated. And I was always really against meditation too. I think there's some past life stuff there. But anyways, I started meditating. The more I did it, the more my clairaudient abilities started to come in. And I didn't know what that was, but I would meditate and I'd start hearing words. It would be like release or let go. You need to move. Or it would be like the color green or the number 2. And then I would go on Google and I would like try to figure out what this meant. And then I would write my journal and I would piece it all together. And that happened the whole month of November. So now I'm doing this kind of for a while, but I'm still like, okay, what's the point of this? What's going to change? Nothing was changing, but nothing was changing because I still didn't have it within me to do the things that I needed to do to give me a better life. And then it's Christmas time. I get a random book in the mail. To this day, I still don't know who sent the book. The book was The Alchemist. If you guys have ever read The Alchemist, you know why this is a big deal. The Alchemist is about this guy, his name's Santiago. He goes on this journey of trying to find himself and like the meaning of the universe, basically, like his purpose. The whole premise of it is like him listening to his intuition and following his intuition, not knowing where it's going to take him. I read that book in one night, in literally one night, and that changed my whole outlook, my whole entire outlook. From that moment, I knew this is not going to be easy. This is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, but I know that I have to do this and I am willing to take the steps that I need to improve myself. So that was December. And I think I finally mustered up the courage to end things with my ex, which was very, very hard for me to do because he's the father of my child. But the one thing that I've always craved in my life is love and to have a family because I didn't like have that growing up. I've always wanted like the nuclear family and the mom and the dad that like la-di-da-di-da and everybody's happy. But I realized that that's not part of my story. That's not a part of my journey. And it's okay that my life has been unconventional. That makes me more suited for the work that I want to do. Anyways, so I finally did that and it was heartbreaking because how could I do that to someone? But then at the same time, I just knew that that's what I had to do. It was my gut. I just knew, and I couldn't explain it to anybody because I went a month or two trying to figure out if that's actually what I wanted. And everybody was trying to talk me out of it. Everyone was like, Michaela, that doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? Oh, you're just postpartum. These are just your hormones. I'm like, no, I know that this is what I have to do. So I did that. Then I kept doing the meditation and things started coming to me. The next big thing was that I needed to move to San Diego. This came out of nowhere. I think it was in April. All of a sudden one day I just woke up and I was like, okay, it's time to move to San Diego. And again, my whole family was like, what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? You're going to leave your family, your whole family, and move to a place where you don't know anybody with your 2-year-old. And looking at it now, yeah, it probably did seem a little bit crazy, and it probably still seems crazy to people, but it was one of the best decisions I have made. I listened to myself. I fully trusted in myself, and I did not know where it was going to lead me, but I knew that it's just something that I had to do. And I was like living my life in this constant like fight or flight mode. I was constantly anxious. I was constantly like sore and getting sick. I just knew like the moment that I moved to San Diego, like it's all just going to go away and things are going to start clicking into place. So time goes on. And now it's May, and I'm really serious about moving to San Diego. I start coming down here every weekend looking for apartments. And if you live in California, I was from the Bay Area. The Bay Area to San Diego, it's a 9-10 hour drive. I was like full sending it coming down here. This is the point in my journey where I think things started to pick up because I met someone in the beginning of May. And this was like a soul connection, like a person that I was supposed to meet on my journey that was going to awaken some sort of dormant part of me that was going to help accelerate things. Things really, really started to pick up once I met this person. And I was tapping into even more intuitive abilities. I was getting clairvoyant visions. All my clairaudient stuff started to pick in. My intuition was heightened. I was getting visions of things that were going to happen in the future. And I just like was fully just trusting in what was coming in and following my intuition. That since then, things just keep getting faster and faster and faster because I keep learning and I keep elevating my consciousness. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. Even more things have happened since then that I think I want to do a separate video on because the things that have happened since then are even freaking weirder. Let's just say when I moved to San Diego, I finally moved down here. It was June 28th, and I was by myself because my daughter was with her dad, so I could move my stuff down here. I remember sitting on the floor of my apartment. I don't have any furniture. I don't have anything. I'm just sitting there by myself with my journal. I started crying because I was listening to all the words that people were putting in my head. Oh, this is going to be the worst decision you've ever made in your entire life. Oh, you're going to regret this. Why are you doing this? Why are you moving your daughter away from her family? Why, like X, Y, and Z. And I just started bawling. What if I did make a wrong choice? And now when I look back on it, I don't think any choices that you make in your life are wrong. I genuinely don't think that there is a wrong choice that you can make because any of the choices that you make are going to guide you to the same place eventually. It doesn't matter how you get there. We have free will, but there are things that are predestined, that are written into our soul's contract within our soul's blueprint, our DNA, that we just can't avoid, no matter how hard we try to avoid. Me trying to avoid meditating, and me trying to avoid stepping into this higher purpose, and me trying to avoid that there was a higher power. My free will was like, no, thank you, and trying to keep me stuck, trying to keep me asleep. But the universe did everything it freaking could to get me to the point where I would wake up, because I know I'm going to be doing something in the spiritual realm, I think, to help heal people and help people like find their purpose and remember who they are. I don't really know how it's going to unfold, but it's like I had to go through all those things in order to get to that like space. That was already written in my soul's contract. Like all the experiences that I've had, even the bad ones, I look back at those bad ones now, and there was like synchronicities even in the bad experiences that I've had, like the most wild synchronicities that I could never explain. And now when I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, that was a sign from the universe that this horrible, devastating thing that happened to me was supposed to happen so it could help me grow and help me become the person that I'm becoming today. Because me putting myself out on this platform and me even just telling this story and trying to be my most authentic self and not living in fear of what people think about me, that's huge within itself. And Michaela, even 2 years ago, even a year ago, if you would have told me that I would be on YouTube telling people about the things my guides tell me, like, I'd be like, you're crazy. Michaela's a little crazy. But it doesn't matter, because if it can help, if my words can help at least one person and help somebody who is going through a similar thing that I went through, that's all that matters to me, because I felt so alone during my whole life. And I just really wished I would have known that it was completely natural and this was all just part of the human experience. And I didn't have the support from my parents. I didn't have anyone who was knowledgeable about the spiritual realm, and I wasn't dedicated enough at that point in my life to do the work and the research, I guess, myself into these deeper truths. And if you're watching this and you're having a hard time and you're struggling, I am here with you. And I think I'm going to do more videos, more in depth on each stage of the awakening, especially the stuff that's been happening recently, because the stuff that's been happening recently is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild, you guys. It's going to freaking blow your mind, because sometimes things happen and I'm like, whoa, that's not real. Like, whoa. But okay, that was kind of a tangent, but going back to what I was talking about, I'm in my new apartment. I'm sitting on the ground. I'm crying. I'm a crier, love to cry, sensitive gal. If you guys are ever thirsty and there's no water near you, you could just have me cry in a bucket and then you could drink my tears. Just kidding. That's gross. Okay, so I'm sitting on the floor. I'm crying. Okay, you guys get the point. You get it. You see the visualization. Me just like, yeah. And I write in my journal, did I make the right choice? How am I going to meet people? How am I going to get support down here? What is my life going to look like? I was just questioning. So then I decided I'm going to go to Target because I needed to get some stuff. And I'm going to Target, and then I get this random urge that I wanted to go get a beer, because at that point I was drinking a lot. And I go on Yelp. So I'm on Yelp and I'm trying to find somewhere to go get a beer. And normally I would click on like the first or second place, but I clicked on the 15th place, and I go, I sit down, and the moment I sit my butt in the seat, actually, I don't even think my butt was on the seat yet. This guy just turns and starts talking to me, like literally just immediately. He didn't see me, he didn't nothing. When I came in, he just immediately started talking to me. I'm talking to him and his friend, and it was just instant soul recognition between the three of us. I started talking to them about why I moved down here. Then they told me their stories about why they moved here, and we had all these similarities. Then I don't remember exactly what I said, but my friend, now we're still friends, he turns and he looks at me like dead in the eye, and he was like, honey, you're exactly where you need to be. And I was like, what did you just say? He goes, you're exactly where you need to be. And literally, like, I can't even explain it, you guys. I want to say there was like my heart dropped into my stomach, but I feel like that's not the right term, because I feel like that's like a negative connotation. But I was just shocked, because literally word for word what I had wrote in my journal an hour or two beforehand, and my mind was just blown. Holy crap. I was questioning whether or not I made the right choice and asking for a sign that I made the right choice. And the universe freaking delivered. They delivered. In that moment, I was like, okay, thank you. I am not delusional. You guys are listening to me, and I'm going to take this freaking seriously. I mean, I was taking it seriously. I was making choices based off my gut instead of my head. And I am, okay, I don't know if you guys are into astrology, but my sun is a Leo, and then I'm a double Gemini. So my moon and my rising are both Geminis. Geminis are an air sign. Air signs are very much in their heads all the time, and 10 billion thoughts at once. Really creative, really talkative, really good at communication, writing, all that stuff. But like, oh my God, see, where am I even going with this? Oh my God, you guys, what was I talking about? Oh my God, ADHD brain. Oh my God, what was I talking about? Don't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. So, okay, where am I going with this? But yeah, well, the universe basically was like, yeah, girl, we got you. And my life has freaking insanely changed on an energetic level. I'd say if you look at my life through these glasses and you look at my life now in December and you look at my life in June, on the surface things still look the same. I'm still working my job every day. I'm still taking care of my daughter. I'm still trying to meet new people, but my entire outlook on life is just completely different. I handle things a lot differently. Things that used to bother me don't bother me anymore. A lot of the trauma that I thought I was never going to be able to let go of and never be able to move through, I've moved through. I've just had like all of these crazy synchronicities happen, and they get more and more intense as I go deeper and deeper and deeper into this journey. I've had contact with higher dimensional beings, which I will do a whole video on. Things just keep rapidly changing. If you're still here and listening to my story, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I want you to know that you're not alone. Although you might feel like you're alone in this world, you are very supported by your guides, by source, by the universe. If you felt alone your whole entire life and you felt you never fit in, you were always questioning the meaning of your existence, you always wanted to help people, you always thought you had some sort of grand higher purpose, it's because you do. You do. And all of these things in your life had to happen to you to get you to start to wake up. If you're just in the beginning of your awakening journey, number one, because we're going through such a rapid ascension on this planet right now, things are going to start to speed up for you. Don't be shocked. Don't be scared. Welcome the changes with open arms. Don't question the guidance that you get, and fully trust your gut. Even if it doesn't make sense, the gut is not logical. The logic is your human egoic mind. Your gut, that's not how it works. The more you trust your gut, trust the universe, the quicker your manifestations are going to come to you. The more authentic you are, the more you live in alignment with your truth, you show the universe your dedication to this mission, your practice, and you lead with an open heart, I think you can't really do wrong. There's still going to be things that come into your life that you're probably going to, feel sadness, feel grief, feel anger, but that's part of being a human. That's why we chose to come down here. We chose to have like the full human experience and experience the whole array of emotions, because that's what makes life beautiful. If things were just all la-di-da-di-da, happy all the time, like we wouldn't be able to appreciate the goodness and the light that exists within the world. I always preach in videos, but we can't have the light without the dark, and we can't have the dark without the light. It's all balance, it's all duality. You're not alone. Things are going to get better. There are still going to be days where you question things. And I know I just said don't question things, but it is hard because we are still human, and I still question things, even though the universe sends me signs and tells me that I'm on the right track. But just with the personality type that I have, I'm impatient. I always want to know how things are going to unravel, but really just lean into the universe, and it's going to guide you wherever you need to go. I've been trying to figure out the reason of me moving to San Diego. What is the universe trying to bring me to? Is it trying to bring me to an opportunity? Is it trying to bring me to my husband? Probably not. Now I sit here in December of 2024 and I realize it wasn't about the destination. It wasn't about the destination. There's not going to be a final destination of this journey. It was about the journey itself. I know that's cliche to say. The journey itself and all the steps that I've taken to get here and have this different mindset. And I had this vision the other day, and it was of a string, and my clairaudient things were calling it the string of life. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but it was a string. It was a red string, and on that string there were all these individual beads that were called the beads of life. Creative, right? And when I was having that vision, I don't think I understood the meaning of it. For some reason, it's coming to me now. That string is our life, our soul's timeline in this incarnation, and all the little beads are the little instances, the little parts of our journey, the little pit stops where we learn. And this string of life was just it was eternal. It was never ending. That goes into the next lifetime. You just keep adding all these little beads. Soon you have like hundreds of thousands of beads. Life is a never ending cycle, and it's a never ending journey of knowledge and up leveling. Instead of looking at life through the eyes of a cynic and being negative, if we put more positivity out there and we smile, we laugh, we have fun, and we just try to spread the light, spread the love, we can't do no wrong. I'm really excited for 2025 and what this year is going to bring. If it's anything like my tarot cards keep saying, then we're coming into a very prosperous, abundant time where all of our hard work is going to be acknowledged. That doesn't mean that we're never going to have hardships again in our life, but we've done all the hard work this past year. Our guides are really going to show that they hear us and that they're proud of us. So I think that was my overall message. It was kind of a tangent, like I said. The point of this channel is for me to bring messages from my guides to you, but also I just want to help you guys. And if you tell me what kind of content you want, I'll do my best to put that out there. Oopsies. Oh my God, I've been talking for so long. I do kind of want to pull some tarot and a couple oracle cards to wrap up my whole blab session to see if there is anything that needs to come through to you guys at this moment in time. Should we start with oracle or should we start with tarot? Let's do oracle. One message that's been coming through to me over the last 2 days. It's actually a song. It's been repeated nonstop. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. That song keeps coming up in my meditations. I'm like, isn't this a kid's song? What are you trying to tell me? And I know what they're trying to tell me. We think that we have this little light inside of us, like a little light, but that light is actually so big, so vast, and it's waiting for you to unleash it. Take the freaking cover off your light and let it shine. Let the world see you. Put your light into the world. The world needs your light. So that keeps coming up. So in theme of that, I'm going to pull from Kyle Gray's Keeper of the Light Oracle, and we're also going to do the Secret Language of Light Oracle, and then we'll do a couple tarot, and then I'll wrap this baby up. You guys are still here. Drop a bear in the comments. A cute little bear. Cute little bear. Because if you're still here, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for listening to me blab for 40 plus minutes. It's basically my own little talk show that nobody watches. It's my diary, but it's a video. So like a vlog. Okay, anyways. Deep breath in, let it go. Dear Spirit, please show me what my collective needs to know today for their highest and greatest good. I only allow messages of 100% God light, 100% absolute truth. Please protect our energy with a big white bubble of light. I do not allow any negative entities or energies to penetrate this bubble of light. Thank you for the messages that we are about to receive. What do we need to know today for our highest good? Okay, baby. Okay, you guys. Okay, so we got Lady Nada, Faith, and Kathumi. Faith says, stay calm, trust the good in yourself, and see the light in the world. What was I just talking about? Spreading your light, baby. Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. Kathumi, cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. I want to thank my guides for spitting these babies out, because I feel like this encompasses this whole message that I was trying to get across. There is good that exists in the world, and there are good things that are happening. Maybe you can't see them now, but if you look behind the veil, things are happening on an energetic level, and we have to trust that there are other people in the world that are like us, who are full of light, who are trying to instill goodness and trying to instill positivity and love into the world. We just need to stay calm in this moment of time, because if you're anything like me and you want everything now, you want to know what's going to happen, by you wanting to know what's going to happen and by you questioning things and not trusting your intuition and trusting in what you already inherently know is coming for you, that puts out resistance into the universe, essentially blocking your manifestation. Because if you're telling the universe, hey, I want this, or I would like to have this, let's say you want to write a book and you have this idea for your book and you're like, I really want to write a book. I really want to write a book, but nobody's going to read my book. And then the universe sends you a sign like, yes, write your book. People need to hear your book. And then you're like, okay, I'm listening. And then you go, oh, but nobody really wants to listen to me. That is putting a block in your manifestation. As soon as you let go of that mindset, then your manifestation is going to come in quicker. We have to stay calm, trust ourselves, believe in ourselves, shine our light, listen to our intuition, because everything that you have already exists within. Okay. And then Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance of divine love, give and receive in balance. A lot of us have closed our hearts off to love, and not even romantic love. I'm talking about love in general, the overall frequency of love, because our lives have been met with so much trauma and so much just so many trials and tribulations. The universe has shown us that we can trust, and we just have to listen and be open. That allows us to step into leading with our hearts. Whatever we give out to the universe energetically is what we're going to get back. If we are leading with our heart and we are trying to help people and we are trying to genuinely spread positivity and the message of like unity consciousness and trying to help people wake up and remember who they are, then like you're going to get back what you're giving. If our hearts aren't open and if we have shells over our heart, if you are giving out love but you are still blocked from it, the universe is going to try to give you that love, but you're not going to see it. You're blocking your own manifestations. You're blocking what you want. You're blocking your abundance. You're blocking what you deserve. We really need to believe in ourselves and believe that not everybody's out to get us. Yes, there's darkness in the world, but there's also light. There's duality. There's a light and the dark. Like I keep saying, that card literally said balance. And I think we really just need to trust, me included. All right, let's pull from one more and then we will do some tarot and then wrap this baby up. This one is The Secret Language of Light, and isn't that so pretty? All these decks always have the most beautiful artwork. I want someone to make this into a dress or something for me. If you can do that, I'll love you forever. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I kinda wanna read to you guys what I wrote in my journal earlier today. Let it shine. I've been really inspired to write poetry lately, which I've never done before. Then that's turned into songwriting, which I've also never done before. One more. And I wrote 4 songs today. And I've written 4 songs in the last couple of months, but I don't really like my voice too much, so I've recorded them, but I haven't done anything with that. If anybody can sing and wants to sing my songs, let me know, because I have some good ones, I think. Okay, so we got wellness, awakening, and soul name. Wellness. Yeah, we're being called to take care of ourselves, self-care, self-love, step into the wellness era. And that's going to help aid this awakening that we're going through. And we're awakening really quickly. Take care of yourself. It's going to aid your awakening. It's going to make your awakening. Soul name. We're going to have to go in the guidebook for that. But this is a really pretty card. The blues, the purple. Whoa. You guys, I had a vision literally of this in my dream 2 nights ago. I had a dream that I was in this temple that had these two really big pillars, and the temple, well, I guess maybe it's not exactly this, but the temple was dome shaped. It was circular. And I was laying on the ground, and there was a bunch of people standing around me in white robes, and maybe I was going through an initiation or something. And I look up, and the temple's made out of glass, stained mosaic glass, and the colors were purple, blue, and yellow. I associated that as I was going through an initiation where my third eye was going to be opening up more so I could receive more information and of what's hidden. And that was going to come through my crown, which is the yellow color. Then I'm going to use the information that comes through my crown and my third eye. I'm going to use my throat to spread the mission, because the throat is connected to blue, and then third eye is purple, and then yellow or white is connected to, well, actually it's not yellow, but yeah, white is connected to your crown. That was a tangent, but that is literally what I saw in my dream. We're going to read from the guidebook for that one. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay, so soul name. I do think that this has to do with like remembering who you are, which is a lot of what we just talked about. Unlock the mysteries of your soul. You're about to receive the name of your soul. Oh my God, what's my soul's name, you guys? What's my soul's name? Your soul name acts as a link between your inner and outer worlds, enabling you to merge authentic wisdom into your everyday experiences and create a life from your heart. You placed your soul name in your heart before you were born. As you explore your inner world and open your heart, you will discover the name of your beautiful essence. Oh my God, you guys, I already know my soul's name. I'll tell you guys after this. You are ready to awaken your heart and know its absolute fullness. You are safe to discover, connect, and receive. All your dreams and desires are going to be realized with an open heart. Ask and be open. It may arrive in a way that you don't expect, but when it comes, you will know that it's authentic. Okay, everybody. This ties into everything that we've been talking about. We're trying to remember who we are, and through living an authentic life and being open with our hearts, everything that we're looking for and everything that we desire is going to come to us when our heart is open. You guys, it literally says it may arrive in a way that you don't expect. If you've seen any of my other videos, I keep stressing something big is coming, and it's going to be shocking. It's going to be a good shocking. And I don't think our guides want us to know what it is, but it's going to come in a way that's very unexpected to you, very out of the blue. So that's why I'm saying, like, we need to trust that this is coming, because our guides don't want us to know what's going to happen, and they want us to be shocked because we've done all this work, and they want us to genuinely like have that moment of like, oh my God, just sweet relief and like utter joy. But my soul's name, I was in the Akashic Records, and I asked the record keepers, who am I? What is the essence of my soul? And they told me that I was like a plumeria. A plumeria is a Hawaiian flower, and it has a powerful scent. And they told me that the essence of my soul was strong and powerful. And plumerias leave a scent in people's nose that lingers. Every single person that I've come across, I have like left an imprint on their lives, because my soul and my aura is so powerful, and I come with a lot of energy despite what it might seem like. I have left an impact on these people, essentially. That kind of sounds like I'm talking out my butt, but so that happened. And then the next day I went to my Reiki class, and I was leaving the Reiki session, and literally I see a sign, and it freaking says plumeria. And I was like, okay, so I really am a plumeria. I don't know, maybe that was my name in a past life. Let's sum this baby up with some tarot, because this is a freaking really long video. I was not expecting this to be that long. I told you guys I already tried to record before this, and it turned out I wasn't recording, and that video probably was like 40 minutes. So I've been doing this for a while. It brings me so much joy. I wish I could do this all day long, but I actually have to work. So if anybody has tips for not work not working and making money, let me know. Oh, the human life, the human predicament. The human predicament. So we got the Ten of Swords, Temperance, Page of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. Ten of Swords is about painful endings. Painful endings that lead to growth. So I feel like this goes with Temperance because Temperance talks about healing, taking a pause and healing. Page of Wands, this is talking about adventure. And the Four of Pentacles has to do with building stability. And so I feel like you went through a very painful ending, whether it was a physical relationship or it being more on the energetic level, how you view life and how you move about the world, and endings to like your limiting beliefs. And that sent you into this growth and healing period. You're looking at it with a sense of adventure and you're excited to see what's going to come next. And you are trying to build a more solid, balanced foundation for yourself, is kind of how I'm reading those. Like two more to clarify. So we got Judgment, the High Priestess, and Nine of Cups. Okay. So the High Priestess, she is like the most psychic in the tarot. And this Judgment card is like you judging situations, following that inner voice, that inner calling. And then Nine of Cups leads to your wish fulfillment, finally feeling content. All these cards together. Okay, so you had an ending, whether it was a physical ending of a relationship or an energetic ending, and this sent you into healing, but you've gone about your healing with a sense of adventure that's going to provide you a more stable foundation through using your like spiritual and psychic abilities and your gifts. You're going to find your inner calling. So by you finally stepping into who you really are and following that inner calling, you're going to be receiving your wish fulfillment. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, because that sums up everything that we just talked about. My journey, which is probably what you guys just went through, and what we're stepping into now is we're going to get our wish fulfillment, everybody. That was really long. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see from me. I would love to know. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye.